Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. Do not call him a quack, because you might get smacked. Hey, cause he's the medical practitioner in a position to help listeners with their medical conditioners when he administers inhibitors, which occurs whether it's testicular or atrioventricular. So don't call him a quack. Okay? Put some respect on my man's name. Now let's go.
Hello, and welcome to Jock, where we discuss fitness and health, and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, Dr. LondonSmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We have received some feedback complaining about the amount of technical terms we've been using, such as thirsty and eyeball, so I will try to speak a little bit more simply in the future. Here to assist with that is our producer, Cameron.
Hi, friends.
Cameron has an ear to the heartbeat of this nation and to the rhythms of this world, so don't be surprised if he gives the slightest of nudges in order to keep the podcast on track.
That's right.
Also with us is DJ Dylan in the house. Plus, Cameron tells me that we have a guest arriving later in the show, so look forward to that.
We certainly do.
All right, before we move on, we received a bit of listener feedback that apparently needed to be addressed. Quote, favorite adult diapers? And go! End quote. First of all, I would like to thank you so much for contacting us at Jock. It is, of course, always a pleasure to hear from our listeners. In answer to that question, I do not utilize adult diapers, so I myself do not have a preferred brand or size or whatever. However, we are always looking for more sponsors, so we are certainly open to finding a new favorite. Thank you again for the question, and we hope to hear from you again in the future. All right, now for a tale from the hospital. I had a patient who was homeless, and he was in the hospital for an abscess in his arm. When I asked him how this abscess came about, he said that it was probably because of the needles he was using to inject recreational drugs. After I left the room, the nurse who had been attending him went to use the restroom. Just after this, the patient left the room, needle still in his arm, needle for medication, and he began to walk away. So security was called, but it was apparent that this homeless man was actually seeking, in addition to the treatment for the abscess, he was just wanting a suitable access point for the drugs that he was injecting.
Sorry, go ahead.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, okay, I feel like you're...
No, just keep going. Just tell your little story. It's fine.
Are you... Okay, it sounds like you're hurting.
Oh, no. Just keep going.
Okay, no, we do have to address this problem. What's going on?
Well, I really hate to be such a downer today, but I have sort of a negative diagnosis. This is sort of a new thing that I'm kind of trying to come to terms with and trying to learn to live with the time that I have left.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Is that so? You were recently diagnosed with an illness?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to? I don't want to put any pressure on you.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
What, if I may ask, what was the diagnosis? What are you suffering from?
I have hypochondria, and I don't know. It seems pretty aggressive, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to take it. You know?
Okay. So you have hypochondriasis. This is okay. I am familiar with this particular psychiatric.
Then you know why I've
why you're
kind of been taking time to see some of my family and kind of catch up with old friends.
Right.
Kind of readjusting my will.
So to clarify on this, hypochondria is where
it's not easy.
Hypochondritis.
It's not easy.
Well. Okay, so you keep on acting like you're in pain here. I don't mean to minimize if you are having any pain, but so that illness is sort of a seeking medical treatment, assuming that you have an illness when really that illness is attributed to the fact that
you could have possibly ever imagined.
That you don't have an illness at all.
It's my I can feel it in my foot.
Oh,
it's all on my foot.
Because you were grabbing. Okay, so
it's all over.
And so did the doctor explain?
Foot.
Did the doctor explain to you that this is just you? It's essentially like an overreacting sort of thing. It's more of a syndrome than it is an illness, where you seek medical attention for blow things out of proportion.
Who's supposed to be telling me this?
A doctor.
I don't.
Okay, because you said.
What are you referring to?
Okay, I guess this is one of those technical terms.
Uh-huh.
Okay, did you go to a medical facility of any kind?
Yeah, I think so. It was Google Chrome.
Did you... Okay, so when you say you got a diagnosis, do you mean that you just Googled, like...
I Googled my symptoms, and it said... because of the amount of symptoms you've been Googling, you have hypochondria.
Oh,
so it's, I can really feel it, especially in my liver. I can especially feel it in my toes.
Sorry, to back up just a sec. So Google thought you were Googling too much.
My arm.
Google even reacted to the amount of searches that you were doing and just said that you had hypochondriasis.
Yeah, it won't let me Google anymore
because you are abusing that. Okay, I haven't heard of that. Okay, well, just to give you some assurance here, this isn't a terminal illness, nor is it an illness. It's more of a. It's not a physical. Okay, well, we can go ahead and move on to today's topic.
If this is my last record, I just wanted to say, for the people out there who need to hear this, Dr. London's his debit card PIN is 6 7.
Okay, no. Okay,
3,
wait, stop.
7. So if you are out there, I get a lot of questions. I'm trying to buy something over $100 with London's debit card. I can't do it. What's his PIN? I've finally been able to acquire it, and I really think this is the most appropriate form for it. I thank you, Dr. Linden, for letting me kind of speak my truth.
And how is that your truth? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and move on to today's topic, if that's okay. I know you
that's
feel
fine.
As if you're in. Okay. So now for today's topic, variant angina, or angina, however you. Also known as Prinzmetal angina or angina. Okay, so variant angina is. What are you laughing at here?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. So I'll pronounce it the other. Prinzmetal angina is when the blood vessels supplying the heart start constricting for no apparent reason, and so they cut off the blood supply to the heart. Prinzmetal angina presents similarly to a heart attack.
Oh no.
So presents similarly to a heart attack with the chest tightness and left arm numbness, except that it tends to happen in younger individuals, a lot of times in those who smoke, and it happens while they are at rest, especially at night. But on an EKG, it will even show up as an ST elevation, which is what you actually look for in a heart attack. So it does.
No.
Yeah, no, it is bad. It's like, because it still causes that damage to the heart. But this one you don't treat with the same medications. Yeah, but
say the one word again.
Prinzmetal, or also known as Variant Angina.
No, not that one.
Heart attack?
No, it was another one.
EKG?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, well,
this show's not supposed to be like dirty like this, but
I don't.
Just keep going. Oh, sorry, kids.
That was about it. So EKG. So it's electrocardiogram. The K, though, is actually that comes from, I believe, the German word, the German spelling. So that's a little fun fact there for that one. Okay, well, let's see. We can move on from there.
Sure.
Okay. Do we have any sponsors today? Okay, that's all right.
No, I don't know. You're always asking about sponsors, and you're never asking about me, I guess.
Okay. Well, okay, Cameron, have you...
Who's the sponsor? Oh, do we have a sponsor? Just someone this week, that we can just advertise. That's all you care about. It's this capitalistic society. Never ask how I'm doing. That's fine.
Well, for one thing, we did very recently discuss how you were doing with your diagnosis. But
never ask how I'm doing.
Okay, Cameron, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Dr. London. I'm doing all right. I've been busy lately.
Okay, busy with what?
Well, switching gears a little bit. We focus a lot on the Jock part of this podcast.
Right.
Don't focus enough on, I think, the Jock
part
of this podcast.
Okay.
So I've been working really hard with my local community. As you know, the 2020 Olympics are coming up next year.
Right.
So right now they're testing a lot of these kind of preliminary sports.
Okay.
Testing out that
see
might
if they can be
be
part
eligible
of the game.
for 2020, maybe 2024 in Paris, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I've been, like I said, working with my local community, with the local kids, trying to put together some of my sports, the different things I've worked hard with, to try to come up with an Olympic sport.
Okay, so you're just trying to come up with a sport for the next year?
I'm trying to get the support of the Olympic Committee for the sports that I have invented.
Okay, so
that
you
I
have
think
invented.
will be really, really great on an international scale.
Okay, what kind of sports have you invented?
Well, the main sport, the one that I think has gotten people really excited, is like, it's kind of impossible to explain.
Okay.
Well, it's like,
you said you're involving kids with these.
It's impossible to explain.
So I assume that you've explained it to children.
It's like everyone's got these bags, right?
Okay.
And then like they're picking up all these coins. There's a ton of coins. I forgot to mention that. There's just a ton of coins on the ground. Everyone's got these bags. And you kind of like try to pick up as many coins as you can. Pennies are worth 2 points. Nickels are worth 3 points. Dimes are worth 13 points. Quarters are worth 0 points. $half are worth 7 points. Sacagawea dollars are worth, I think, 7.5 points. Throw them into the bag.
Okay.
And then you kind of start spinning the bag.
You say that as if that sounds like an ending. Spinning the bag. What do you spin it for? Like, do you try to?
It's kind of a free for all.
Do you throw the bag afterwards? Is it like a throwing thing, and that's how you measure how?
I'm so tired of all of these rules. Like, what happened to the artistry of it? Why not just give people these sacks of coins and just like let them do what they need to do? Let them express themselves a little bit. So they start flailing the coin sacks around. They're hitting each other,
Okay,
but
so
it's just like,
is hitting each other part of it then?
Yeah, I mean, everything's part of it, man. It's all part of it.
But so if I can break down the game real quick, if I can try to summarize for you, you have a lot of various types of coins on the ground.
Yeah, like a ton.
Okay, and then the game is there a time limit on this, or?
No, man, it's whatever you feel. If you feel there should be a time limit, then yeah, put a time limit on it.
So the game is everyone is just gathering coins from the ground and putting them in a bag and having that bag.
Yeah. And just like doing whatever like it leads you to do.
Because I can say for a lot of people, that just sounds
people are
like
just swinging it around,
gathering money and just going to spend that money is what it sounds like it would be.
No one's spending them. I mean, they can spend the money when they leave, but you're on the field. There's a field. It's covered in coins. Okay. Pennies are worth 2 points. Nickels are worth 4 points.
Right. No, I get there's and secondaries are 7.5.
Anyway, it's been taking over, I mean, the local community by storm.
Okay. See, the way that it's done that, has it been by you don't really explain it and you just pour money on the ground? Because that's what it's... and you give them bags?
It's not...
And you think it's...
It's not like pouring it on the ground. It's like placing it on the ground. It's very intentional, but there's a ton of coins.
So you bring coins to a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Put them all on the ground.
Yeah, very carefully.
A whole lot of them, very carefully. And you invite everyone, especially these kids, to come over, give them bags to gather coins, and then this is your Olympic sport.
Yeah. And just bring some artistry back to the Olympics.
It sounds like you're giving back to the community, but just financially, you're just giving them money.
It's hard to explain. So I am a little bit of a jock myself. I'm a sports aficionado, and I do have to say my favorite sport is the Olympics. So this is something that I am maybe a little more educated about.
Okay. I don't know if the Olympics is
and I think this would
sport.
The Olympics are a sport, and it's my favorite sport.
Okay.
And USA team number 1. And we're going to be number 1 at this new sport.
Gathering
which is
coins.
bag coin.
Bag coin, isn't it? Okay. Well, that...
All right. See. Okay. What else we got?
Okay. You have more games? Yeah. You said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got an infinite amount. If you just give me like 5 minutes, I've got like an infinite amount of games.
Okay. So
could,
So one more.
Let's see. We can do. So my nephew has this gun, right? And so this is like, I'm thinking like everyone has like balloons taped to them, not helium balloons that are floating up, more just like balloons
air.
taped to, let's say, their back or in their front. Let's say one on the front, one on the back. And then my nephew, he's a great shot. Like, he's a really good shot. He's just out there just popping them one by one. Poof, poof. That could be a sport.
Okay, so just shooting range kind of thing.
Well, trying to pop these balloons that the people are wearing.
Okay.
He's like a really good shot.
Well, you know that bullets...
Boop, 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 boop.
Like, well, you're saying with blanks, I guess, yeah. It still sounds...
No, he's a really good shot. He doesn't need to use blanks.
Well, okay, because the issue with a real bullet would be that, obviously...
Yeah, you're going to pop the balloon. That's the goal of the game.
Well, it would travel through...
And again, how many points does a pop balloon count as? I don't know. It's all up in the air, baby. We're talking about just like a free-for-all, just hanging out. Do what you want to do. If you want to do yoga where you got these balloons taped to you, that's fine. Just know that my nephew's going to be out there just kind of like, he's a great shot.
Yeah, no, I've heard. Well, that sounds like an interesting game.
He has more than one gun if you want to get out there and kind of start popping some of these balloons.
I don't.
I'll get you a gun. Okay. We've decided it.
Well, we can move on from there.
And he'll teach you. You can just like...
Well, if he's shooting people...
Well, you can kind of like bend the bullets. You ever seen Wanted?
Okay, actually, I do have a question on this.
Okay.
Have you done this with people? Like, have you played this game before?
Are there other follow-up questions after this?
Yes.
Ooh.
Or depending. If the answer is no, then no.
Then no. I have not played Shoot the Balloon.
Okay, because balloon is attached to a person.
They're running around. I mean, again, doing whatever they need to do.
Because you're describing it like you've seen it played.
Are there going to be follow-up questions if I say I have seen it played?
Yeah, there are.
Then I haven't seen it played.
Okay. All right, well, I guess we can go ahead and move on to our next portion. Okay. You said we had a guest today?
We do.
Okay.
One guest.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the show. My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this is Cameron, and you're on Jock.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Hello. And what was your name?
My name is Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. All right. Well, nice to meet you, Jeremiah.
Hey,
Thank
Jeremiah.
You. Thank you.
All right. What brings you here today?
Well, I started down, I would call it an experimental road with prescription penis-enhancing pills.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of started to, maybe by some standards, abuse them by mixing chest pain-related medication with it.
Okay.
Like, nitroglycerin and Viagra, and I'd say that I just had an experience that I could only define as somewhat like euphoric sexual unconsciousness.
Probably badass, right?
Yeah. I can't really stop doing the mix. I've actually added some other, sexually more herbal remedy solutions, but I do feel like my life is in danger. So I'm here to just maybe see what I could do to maybe regulate my experiences.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're coming on the show because you're not the concoction of medications that you've been taking has caused some amount of distress, and you're.
Well, I end up in the hospital pretty frequently.
I would assume so, yeah.
My parents are pretty worried about me, and I had a girlfriend, but she left me because I can't stop.
Right, and when you say you can't stop, so you're taking a mix of Viagra, which.
Well, it varies on the day. I have a selection of different, penis enhancing pills and different heart medications, and I just kind of spice it up and vary it up, and
right.
Sometimes I mash up some maca root and I drink that, and I'll just take the mix and I'll pass it on the couch to the video of my choice.
Okay, and that sounds interesting. How long has this been going on for?
Probably about 3 years now.
You've been taking the various mixes of medications for 3 years, and you said you've been in and out of the hospital?
Frequently, yeah. Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I mean, it kind of sounds like you're an expert on this subject. I don't even know why we're bringing Dr. London into this.
Well,
kind of seems like
I
you're
don't
the
know.
Expert.
It's true. I just don't know how sustainable this is because
I agree.
I had a scare. I had a scare.
Wow.
About 2 weeks ago.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, nobody came when I my button. I had one of those buttons that the elderly use. I actually bought one of those. Yeah, and it didn't alert anyone. I woke up about 4 days after.
3 days after.
Yeah.
So you had just taken one of your medications?
Well, I mixed it with a cocktail of different over-the-counter herbal supplements.
Okay, and then you were passed out for 3 days.
3 days.
What counter? You keep talking about over-the-counter. You're getting these supplements. So where are these supplements being acquired?
I don't know if I could say. I may say over-the-counter. It's just sort of like a. My best way of saying it, but hands are hands.
Okay, because
I just want to make sure this isn't coming from my pharmacy. Is it?
No.
It's not my
No.
Okay, cool. Okay, we're good.
You're good.
When you say your pharmacy, Cameron, when you say your pharmacy,
Are there follow-up questions to this?
That's how this show works.
I think I said farm races. Racing on a farm. That's all.
Okay, well, I have
nothing to do with selling anything to anyone involving kind of stuff that I find outside.
Okay, well,
and kind of putting it into a powder and just kind of saying this is a pill you should take. I don't do that. I'm just racing on a farm racy.
Okay, well, so 2 points.
It hurts. Oh, sorry.
1 point here would be over the counter.
Let's get back to our guest.
Typically means at a pharmacy. Okay. Anyway, so this medication you've been taking it for years, and now it's causing you distress because you passed out for 3 days, and your life alert. What? And why do you have a life alert? You seem...
Well, because, obviously, for the amount of time I've been experimenting with these drugs that render me unconscious,
Oh, they do this often?
All the time.
I mean, I can imagine that with the way that, Viagra, those kind of things.
Maybe Dr. London, you could talk a little bit about the benefits of being kind of habitually unconscious.
Yeah, I'd actually have to say that.
Or maybe also the science behind the state of bliss. I compare this to, maybe a drug-induced female orgasm, because I think with men, the short lifespan is what I was getting away from of that peak. So in that state of low blood pressure where I pass out, I feel like I'm going into that. I try to time it, right? Like, the peak. I try to time the peak with the unconsciousness, and then it just lasts.
And
but again,
you're sure you haven't gotten this from like my apartment? Because this is really sounding familiar. This is kind of the selling point for most of my stuff.
I usually get it from
most of your
another party, like a third party, maybe. Okay. So maybe one of your friends. Do you know Trey?
Are you going to 3 parties later? Is that what you mean by that?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk after the record.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Dr. London.
Okay.
It's pretty badass, right?
A lot of things to address there. Aside from this other your pharmacy. Right. So whenever you pass out from something like that, what I'm guessing here, and it could be a number of things going on if you're mixing medications.
Lots of medications. It's usually a few hours, but this one was like 3 days. And I kind of went on an existential, maybe voyage. Voyage is a good word. And so by the end of that time, it was almost like light, dark tunnels, lots of like just processing of the unknown ventures of the human psyche meets my penis.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the end of that, I was climbing a giant shaft and I arrived at the top, and then I woke up, but it freaked me out so much that I'm here now.
Okay.
Wow.
So one thing there, whenever you have some of those medications,
inspirational.
It'll decrease your blood pressure. And so like that's less blood going to your brain. And even for a few hours, that sort of thing can be dangerous. For a few minutes, that can be dangerous because less blood flow to the brain means brain cells can die. So,
oh my God, am I dead?
I do not believe so.
Is my penis dead?
I
Dr.
do
London,
not know.
Do you see him too? I see him. Is he dead?
I do see him.
Because I see him.
Would you look at my penis?
Guy.
I do not wish to, that is why you're on the show.
It took a lot for me to get here.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can take a look. Briefly, for your privacy, let's away from. Okay. Oh, okay. Well.
What do you think?
Well, the fact that you had to drag it out like that, so it's longer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Over 3 days, it grew. It something happened.
But it's not. It's like a slinky, like a slinky. It's very thin and trailing.
What does it mean?
Like a big corkscrew. You could.
Yeah, say. I mean not like when I say big, I just mean length. Like it's.
Yeah. Probably 35 feet long.
Like a deflated balloon.
It's always been that long. It's just floppier, wrinklier.
Okay. Oh, this does sound like something. Have they addressed this at your hospital visits, or is this recent? Is this specific development recent?
They see me so much that I kind of wanted to get a fresh pair of eyes.
Right, and so you came to a podcast.
But you are a doctor.
Yeah. It's just like normally you'd want to take care of these things in an actual healthcare setting.
I probably should have told you before the record. I did kind of open up our guest spots to any of our listeners that wanted to come on.
Any of them?
Yeah.
Okay, because
I said if you're I didn't really even address listeners. I just kind of like went on Reddit and said if you're sick, please come to our podcast.
Okay, because normally we're trying to bring in experts on medicine.
He is an expert on long slinky penises.
Well, not so much an expert as just someone who has that.
Are you more of an expert on it than he is? No.
I mean, for 3 years I've been mixing these drugs. I mean, I saw the ad and it said experienced in, one branch of medicine, and I feel like I'm kind of an expert in that, but this was an anomaly for me. I've never.
Okay.
Should I put this away?
You can probably put it back out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. And okay, yeah, tuck that. Okay. Okay, I don't want to say it's horrifying, but like the fact that it was also so black colored is also concerning. Because that, to me, that looks like dead tissue. Has this, and I'm sorry, these are going to be very personal questions because of the nature of it. Has this affected things for you, let's say in the bedroom and whenever you take the medication? Because if it's dead, it shouldn't be able to hold blood.
But I don't, it's hard to determine if it was dead because it wasn't the skin that was black, it was the scales.
Oh my God.
That's valid. It was scaly and that was falling off. Do you have a history of psoriasis?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. No, I feel like you would know about that. Okay, so
I honestly haven't done the concoction since the experience.
Wow.
I did bring them with me this time if you wanted to.
That doesn't sound like a.
I thought if I replicated the experience here on site, it might help give some clarity.
I think that'd be really beneficial for our audience.
I don't know.
I brought my life alert, but you guys are here, so
the life alert that didn't work.
Well, I got it fixed.
Okay.
Because for this podcast.
Great.
Well, you could Cameron, if you would like to try. I'm not sure if.
Are we all trying it, or are we just watching him try it?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Good point.
I did bring enough for everyone. I did bring enough for everyone.
Okay, great.
Okay, because I don't know that that would be appropriate for me so much. For one thing, I don't.
I do have to ask. Do you think this is going to affect my hypochondria?
It has helped my anxiety a lot. Mm-hmm. But mainly because I'm in an unconscious state, so I can't really speak for consciousness
So it might not be as a hypochondriac and who's struggling with that. It might not be safe to mix.
Are you taking prescription medication for your hypochondria?
Or over the counter? Over your counter?
Are there going to be follow-up questions to that?
He's been the one asking the questions, if that helps.
Yeah, but it sounds like we're going to 3 parties later, so we'll talk about this later.
Right. Okay.
I might need to go to the ER with your prognosis on my slinky dick.
Okay, well, and I will say also
scaly
slinky.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, it's been a bit, but you in that situation you will want to call 911, call an ambulance. We've had some issues before with a previous sponsor. Just wanted to clarify. All right. I guess sure. I guess for the show, go ahead and you can try your medication if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
All right.
Okay.
Here you go, Cam.
It's chewy.
Okay, your eyes are changing color.
Yep. I can see that.
Oh, you can see. You can see the color changing.
Yeah.
Okay, because
What's happening to me right now? Talk me through this.
Well, generally there is a color change. For me, I typically see it in my eyes. You know, I can tell like my eyes are changing, and then it gradually moves down.
Okay, yeah. Now your cheeks are, and the color. It's hard to define one color on this. Okay.
Could you define two?
Yeah. So first I saw red, which was very scary, but it's not blood. I don't think. Okay. No. Now it's going purple.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like bruised color. So we're still thinking blood, but now green.
Here, give me more.
Okay.
I mean, you don't do this very often, do you? I mean, I typically take about 5.
Can I take 6? Okay.
Okay, now I'm seeing black speckles. You should probably stop taking this.
Oh, my hypochondria. This is unrelated to it. Oh.
Okay, and you're come to think of it, your hypochondria might be actually just your drug abuse.
I didn't abuse anything.
Sorry, when I would say drug abuse, that's not a term for like hitting your drugs. That's a term for you ingesting them.
What's happening to my feet right now?
Are they tingly? You feeling them tingle?
It's more like they feel like someone else's feet are tingly. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your shoe is wet with blood now.
Yeah.
Did you have an open sore on your foot?
It's impossible to know.
Oh my God, that's a big no-no.
Oh, you can't have open sores.
Open sores, anything that could leak, definitely not advised.
So this it functions as an anticoagulant?
I mean,
when you said heart medication,
there's so many things
like
open in my body at any given time that it's kind of, I mean, just impossible to determine when what started or who started what, or
it's
whatever.
It's a cocktail. I synthesized it. I worked with a guy who I know from the pharmacy. He turned it into gummy form, actually.
Wow.
Okay, so Cameron, you probably should not have taken this, because now, yeah, it's just like my feet are getting wet from your blood puddle here.
Yeah.
So we do need to.
But it could be unrelated.
I don't think so, because for one thing, apparently this is an anticoagulant. So it makes sense. In that sense, are you feeling lightheaded at all? Because that's more what he described as being.
No,
the
my head
issue.
feels like heavy, like really, really heavy.
How's your penis?
I'm
actually surprised he's still conscious right now.
Yeah. Okay, and I don't want to.
Feeling pretty good.
I don't want to say it out. Okay.
Okay, and the reason
a-
I wasn't reacting about the color of my penis is because I'm very used to color variations. So I figured that.
Whoa! Is that how it looks in the middle of it?
Well, let me get the rest of the zippers real quick.
Okay, I was reacting to just your finger, which doesn't look like a finger either.
Never knew you could get pants that unzipped completely.
Yeah, to nothing.
So now you have no pants on. Yeah.
Well, there's not. It doesn't exist. Once you unzip it all, it's just air. There's nothing left. Yeah.
Where do you get those pants from?
I made them.
Oh, all right.
Get them at my pharmacy.
I really need to go to that pharmacy.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Could I?
And I've got some beer that they sell there too, which is pretty good. Just gonna throw that.
This
out
isn't
there.
the same beer that caused paralysis, is it?
Are you gonna? If I say yes, are you then gonna ask if it's the same beer that caused so many suicides?
I feel like I'll know with the first question.
Oh, then no.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this right now because the color.
Okay.
The color is why I'm not too worried about my color. And look, the scales already, like, he should not be conscious. I have no idea what's going on. He should be already hitting that plateau.
Well, one concern I have is you would think that it would be an erection, but it's actually like very flat, like sticking to the skin.
It's almost the opposite of
what? Yeah,
I think I describe it as like an internal gasm instead of like an erect.
It pulls back in.
It pulls back in, which is where my experiences have come from.
So you're saying that because the penis retracts into the body,
it's like reverse.
Inside of your body is where you feel the experience.
Right. And then there's like maybe a sort of like the whole fluid exchange. That's why the penis extends, because it has that effect, right? And so instead of it being like firm, it's like something about the nitroglycerin meets the Viagra kind of creates a bungee cord colored effect.
And this is why I'm so glad we have an expert like you on the podcast to really kind of speak about these things that maybe don't get a lot of attention.
Well, I was an expert, I thought, until the climb of the penis plateau that lasted 4 days. So I really don't know how that's why I'm here, is I figured there'd be some type of clarity.
Yeah, I mean, my medical advice here would be stop taking this, because
he's fine, but except for the consciousness part
and the bleeding.
Well, yeah, it's hard to explain, but I know that I should not be conscious. Does that make sense? With every fiber in my being, it's almost like I'm going against nature, that I'm still conscious, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it's his medication for his hypo.
It's like a weight on my shoulders, and I'm not talking about my heavy head, because it's so heavy.
That's the feeling you get before you go unconscious. So something is blocking the unconsciousness. I have no idea what this is going to be like for you. This is fascinating.
It's almost like a darkness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean not really. It's.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I think this is really. He may be actually experiencing a lucid subconscious state. So, London, what could you ask him some questions that consciously he would be able to answer, but subconsciously he wouldn't?
Okay. Consciously. Some basic obvious type of questions maybe. So, Cameron, what is your position with regard to the Jock podcast?
What
is your title?
I guess missionary.
Okay.
I guess I like doggy. I don't know.
Okay, no, you are the producer of the podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's an odd answer, because it sounds like your thoughts, at least, you just referred to sexual positions.
Producer.
Okay. So you're back with us, maybe, or is this just? I'm
facing frontwards.
Okay.
Hit him with some like Freudian subconscious.
Do that.
I don't focus as much on that, like the id and the ego. That's not quite exactly my specialty.
Do it.
Okay. What do you see as what drives you?
I can tell you what I see. It's your stupid shirt. Oh, is it that part of the drugs?
This is new territory for me. But I'm happy to see that his penis is the same color as mine.
Stop eating those. This is not good for you, because for one thing, your penis is going through the color changes, and like it was weird before because it was doing the sticking to your skin and pulling in, but now around that region,
I'm just gonna put it back. I'm getting a little uncomfortable how detailed you are getting with my...
I'm sure the color has a lot to do with the ginseng root. Apparently,
areas.
That has a lot of variations in color.
Just keep talking.
So are you, like, watching it? I can't even tell, but you brought the zipper back from air?
I have to create a new pair of pants every time with loose zippers. So it's.
I'm curious. I'm curious in this state, just out of curiosity. Are you feeling really good, or are you feeling anything right now?
I'm feeling like London's shirt sucks. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think that's the dress.
My head feels so heavy. It feels like 1,000 pounds.
Okay, yeah, and you should pick it up off the ground. Like, I don't know if you can rest your head on the chair or something, but
I got to do my pants first. Oh, keep going. Sorry, I don't want to stop the podcast.
Right. Okay, well, all right. So Jeremiah, my advice.
Ow! Oh my God!
After all of this. Oh, that's it. My pants. How?
Okay, I think we're good.
I'm wearing scrubs that mine don't even zip. But that was weird. So Jeremiah, I don't know what exactly what caused all of these reactions, but I do know that you should stop taking medication that you aren't prescribed by a medical physician.
But I am prescribed them. I just wasn't prescribed to mix them or add on to them.
Okay. So you should do.
I got a prescription for
as
Viagra
prescribed
and nitroglycerin.
This sort of reminds me what we were talking about earlier when I was talking about my Olympic sports. There's so many rules and regulations these days. What happened to the art of medicine? You know what I mean? Just like feeling it out.
Well, so medicine is.
Oh, let me paint this picture and only color in the lines. Let me only use 4 colors and color in the lines. Nah, man, let's make tie-dye. Picasso.
Medicine is a science.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just feel it out. I'm tired of these doctors walking in and saying, this is what you need to do. You have to take these pills, get these shots. How about a doctor who comes in the room and he says, hey, man, whatever. Let's just figure this out, man. I want a doctor to be a DJ. And just kind of mixing it up. Seeing what's next, feeling it out. Bringing artistry back to the form.
You say it like...
You feel me?
I know. I do. I mean, I feel like that's the road I went down until it just got really dark.
Have you thought about just kind of pushing through? Because you say it's dark right now, but what if on the other side of that, it's like more badass? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say just go.
In the...
Here.
Okay.
You said you usually take 5?
5.
Go 15.
Oh my God.
I do not. I disagree. You should not do this.
Hey, Lennon, can you wrap up this podcast on your own?
Yeah, I was thinking we should already be wrapping up anyway, especially because you're.
I'm still so surprised that you're conscious. Are we doing this? Oh,
yeah, let's go.
Okay, we're doing it.
Well, and you're at this point, Cameron. You're also shaking visibly and sweating a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going for it. There's no way you can stay conscious.
If he shakes that the opposite way, then it looks normal.
Is your ear leaking?
Well, are there going to be follow-up questions if I answer that? No.
Okay, it's a lot. Okay. Well, I guess mainly I would like to leave with the advice of you should not be taking these medications. Neither of you should be. You shouldn't be. You might be taking the medications as prescribed, though. So if the doctor says take this one at a certain time of day, a certain amount, you should listen to that rather than taking a mix and match version of that.
And that is absolutely true. Or just kind of feel it out. Again, it's an art form. It's art.
Okay, I gotta emphasize, it is not an art. Like there are aspects.
There's no rules.
Maybe could be. There are rules, and there are laws.
People a long time ago said you can't put distortion on a guitar sound. Oh, why does it sound so fuzzy? I don't like it. Oh, guitar should only sound clean. And then rock and roll.
Okay, so with guitars, that's an art.
Oh,
whereas medicine is.
You can't play a guitar string and make it sound like echoey where it's playing it twice. The Edge, guitarist in U2, delay pedal.
Isn't that science that helped give us distortion in guitar? Like, didn't that take a scientific sort of approach?
Where the streets have no name, with or without you, bullet the blue sky,
so
beautiful day.
Science can help the art, but for art to be the way that science and art are two different types of fields. You understand? So the science is a logic, evidence-based method,
and that's why we need to get back to the art form, so it's not all logic. I'm a computer 0110011111000101110 1000000001111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111111
Okay, well, I guess that's all the time we have today.
People told Bon Iver that he couldn't think like this with the high pitched, and he did it anyway because it's art.
Okay. All right, well, thank you to Jeremiah for being on the show.
People said, hey, Beatles, you can't have, like, bowl haircuts. You're grown men. What did they do?
They did get haircuts.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if anyone told them they couldn't.
Yeah, it's an art.
Thank you, Cameron, and thank you to DJ Dylan in the host. This has been Jock Doc.
See ya.
If you liked that episode, please tell your friends. According to our stats, we have 3 listeners. Don't get me wrong, we love our listeners, but it feels very creepy to tailor every bit of content towards the specific tastes of you 3 people. So please tell George. And yes, our marketing intel shows that all 3 of you despise George, but it also tells us that he has been asking for podcast recommendations, and that so he has that belly button leakage, and that makes you all uncomfortable. But that you can't let that keep our podcast from growing. He can't help that medical condition.
And I do want to say, one of our listeners, Stacy, we know that she works in an old folks home. Well, those old people are sleeping. Just add the podcast to their phone.
I wouldn't
increase
say
our listenership. Come on, Stacy.
And I would say maybe instead of our podcast is kind of like radio in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a point of relation if they could set up for them, sure. But probably while they're awake, so they know about it.
Do it while they're asleep. Your boyfriend Daryl is not going to mind at all.
Yeah, Daryl, the stats we have on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, also, please leave us a 5-star review explaining which of George's growths is least appealing to you. We are at JockDoc Podcast on social media, and you should actually go ahead and just text someone jockdocpodcast.com right now so that they can listen in too, and that'll have links to major podcast platforms.
You can get this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, Hellman's Mayonnaise Podcast, the Heinz Ketchup Podcast app, NASA's podcast app.
So the Ketchup and NASA, they all have podcasts?
They have podcast apps, yeah.
Okay. Huh. Well, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, thanks for listening.